This happened about 1 or 2 years ago. I'm in the Alabama Air Force National Guard, but I work in a city in Florida. I'm travelling home for the weekend, late on a Friday night, since I had to be at my unit the next morning. I have drill once a month. I've been travelling for a while, and I'm on a highway in Alabama near my parents' house. It's about 9 p.m., and there are no lights to light up the street. Pitch dark. I see a car stop at a sign about 60 to 70 yards in front of me, and he goes across the street I'm driving on. Mind you, it's dark, and the car had its lights on. When I got to the street he crossed, I looked down the street he went down, and there was no street, no car lights, and no car. There was only grass and a telephone pole. I would have seen the red backlights at least, and I was going too fast for him to disappear before I got to him. I got out there as fast as I could. I cannot explain what happened to this day. Paint a picture. Here's a description of myself at the time of this incident, 3 years ago. 5'5", 26-year-old woman, medium length, bleach blonde hair, curvy 175 pounds, wearing black high-waisted tights and a pink crop top. 3 years ago, I was walking home late at night from my friend's house. It was dark at the time, and I lived in a rough part of a large city. I have had many sketchy situations that I've got myself out of, so I guess I felt sort of invincible, like nothing truly scary could happen to me. When I walk alone, I always stay very alert and aware of my surroundings for my own safety, just in case. About halfway home, and roughly 10 minutes to my apartment, I noticed a van started tailing me. I was used to this since, in my city, it's very common for a young woman in a rough area to get propositioned for sex. It's embarrassing how desensitized I was. I did my usual and crossed the road, so I would be walking beside the traffic heading in the other direction. I wasn't scared, just annoyed. The van then turned down a side street and back to the road I was on and pulled up to me. At this point I still wasn't scared. Again, this happened so many times, and it never mattered if I was wearing something that showed my skin, or if I was wearing a winter zipped up coat from below my chin all the way down to my ankles. That area is notorious for that type of activity. I decided to be firm and told the person sternly, "I'm not interested." I noticed there were two men in the van. They looked almost identical, and may have been twins or brothers. Both men had a very, very dark complexion, dark eyes and short hair. The van didn't move. I was super annoyed and crossed the road again to get away. At this point, I figured this would be enough to stop them from following me. They didn't. They kept circling back every time I crossed the road. I've never had to put that much effort into getting a pervert to leave me alone, so this is when I started to feel unsafe. They zipped by me at the speed the traffic was flowing in, and I yelled for them to F off. I thought it finally worked. It had been 3 minutes and I hadn't seen the van, so I thought I was in the clear. Just in case, I pulled my phone out and was getting ready to call my sister that I live with. Just then, the van pulled up next to me very quickly. Before I could even blink, one of the men jumped out of the van, opened the back door and approached me in an aggressive manner, as if he was trying to scoop me up and throw me into the vehicle. The traffic in the area is very inconsistent. It was dead, and I imagine this is what I was waiting for. Just as the man was about to place his hands on me, I tilted my phone and said, "You're being filmed in my live video chat. I gave my friend your license plate number and the police have been notified." I was so scared, but I didn't show that. I stayed as calm as I could. The man paused like he was considering if I was bluffing or telling the truth, so I tilted my phone more as if to give a fake audience a better look at him. He then jumped into the van and they sped off. I have never been the same since that night. I'm afraid of walking alone now, even in the daytime. Stay safe out there. This happened in 2008, when I was 9 years old. I lived in a townhome community, where each road had two sides of homes. In between the backs of the houses, there was a back road with alleyways that went in between each building section. I lived on the edge of one of these, and my hometown was on one of those alleyways. I lived on one street, and across the back road on the opposite side lived an elderly woman whose name I don't even know. I am not sure what her situation was, but for whatever reason, she never liked me specifically. She was creepy and spray painted all of her windows so no one could see in her house. However, that never stopped her from sometimes staring out a bedroom window directly at mine and keeping it open at night to shine a red strobe light into my room across the way. She used to yell how she hated us. I was in 4th grade, and on a particular January morning, I had unfortunately missed the bus. My dad sent me outside to get in the car so he could drive me, and he said he'd follow me out soon after. As I was walking to my dad's car, she came out of the alleyway next to my house, slowly, with a gigantic kitchen knife behind her back. She raised it and started running after me. I was faster than her, so I was able to avoid her and was able to get into the house. She walked and stood on the neighbour's porch across the way and stared at my house. I was terrified. My dad ran out and yelled at her, and she said she wanted to get rid of us stupid kids. My parents called the police, but the police sent her home and had an ambulance pick her up later. My parents went to some kind of court meeting about it, but I don't really know the details. I didn't see her again after that, until 1 year later. I don't remember the day, but it had snowed that morning, so I was gonna run out of the front door and play in the snow. I opened the door to see her standing on the porch, but looking out towards the road, I panicked, closed, and locked the door. I ran up to my parents' room and told them what happened, and we saw her walk off the porch up the street. I never saw her again after that. My family since moved far away from there, but people I know say she still lives there, and her windows are still the same spray painted windows. Though it doesn't affect me as much as it used to, I still don't like being around knives.
This story didn't happen to me, but instead to a friend of the family who's also a volunteer fire chief, an industrial firefighter / EMT, and a fire investigator for my country. I was told this story when he came to my Firefighter 1 class to teach us about the basics of fire investigation and how firefighters can assist fire investigators on the scene. In 2009, there was a large garage explosion and fire out in a rural area of my country. My own fire department responded for mutual aid, but this was 6 years before I joined. When a working fire is declared in my country, the country's team of fire investigators is also notified to respond. The garage was filled with cars, some of them decades old, and took a while to extinguish. A while later, when the fire was out, the fire investigators began to take pictures of what was left of the garage and the cars inside. The garage had effectively burned to the ground by this point. They were taking photographs of the garage. One of the photographers on the team seemed to notice something odd in the hollowed out remains of the pickup truck. He peered inside. He noticed something white in the driver's seat and took a photo of it. As he continued to look at it, he soon realised that it was in fact a skeleton. The owner of the garage, who had been missing since the fire, had in fact died in it. It was believed he was in the garage when the explosion occurred, and died shortly after from smoke inhalation or the burns. His death was ruled an accident, as he had several propane tanks he was working on inside the garage, and several of them exploded. I have seen the pictures, and I was shocked to see the skeleton when I finally noticed it. He had been burned so thoroughly that his skeleton blended in with the wreckage of the truck, hence why it took so long for anyone to notice it. Despite firefighters, police officers and investigators walking right past the truck several times, I only hope that his death wasn't too painful. I met this kid at my hockey practice in March. The hockey team was made up of a range of kids from ages 11 to 13. This kid had recently changed teams to this one for various reasons, and seemed pretty nice. We got along relatively well, and one day, after a game, we introduced our parents to each other, and we all went to a diner for lunch after that. His family seemed nice, and he seemed like an average kid. I invited him over, and we brought a bike and a scooter to the park, and played hide and seek in the playground. One day, I invited him over to my house to hang out, and after playing some video games for a while, we took our scooters to the park. I kept repeating how average this kid seemed, because what happened the next day still confuses me. We had just won our first hockey game in a tournament, and wouldn't play our next game until the next day. I invited him to lunch with my mum and her friend, who had decided to come along and watch the game. And after eating, my mum drove us to my house. He lived in a pretty bad part of town, so I had always declined his mum's invitations to come over. We planned to go outside and play tennis on some nearby backboards, but first we played some video games. During one of our games, his mum called and said he had to leave soon so he wouldn't be late for his next activity. He told me that he was going to take my trophy with him. For a bit of background, the previous season I had played his old team and beat them in the finals of a tournament funded by them, so he probably had a bit of resent for that, especially since my trophy was bigger than his. Anyway, he disappeared with the trophy, and since my apartment is very small, I thought he was right outside, in the corridor trying to prank me. But I looked in our front hall and saw his shoe still there. I called out from next to the front door, "You left your shoes?" I got no reply from outside, but I heard a slight shuffling from inside a walk-in closet next to our front hall that my mum used for extra clothes that didn't fit her in her small closet. I was 99% sure it was him, and 5 seconds later, the closet door slides open and he climbs out, only to get an extra loud boo from me. My mum, who was currently talking on the phone, did not appreciate the loud noises and told us that we could only act like that outside. The kid then walked to my room and shut the door and locked it. My door had one of those click locks that had a little hole on either side so you could put a piece of wire into it if you happened to lock yourself out or something. So I went to look for something in the kitchen that I could use to open the door. At this point, what he was doing was kind of getting annoying. My mum got mad at me for rummaging around in the kitchen, and at that moment, the kid walked out of my room and walked over to the kitchen. He was supposed to be leaving, and instead he was stalling in a really crappy way. When I looked over to where he was in the kitchen, I saw he was holding our biggest steak knife and was handling it as if he was imagining what it'd be like if he ran through somebody. I couldn't take this, so I went to my mum's room and told her that the kid was holding a knife. She told the person on the phone line that she had to go and asked the kid what on earth he was thinking. He denied ever touching the knife, although I could prove him wrong with fingerprints, and my mum told him that he needs to go. I walked him to the elevator, and when it came, he got in and said, "I took something." So I held the elevator before I asked him what he took. He told me that he didn't take anything. He repeated the shenanigan for a few more times before my mum started yelling at me about holding the elevator. So I laughed this off and finally let him leave. When the elevator beeped indicating that it was a floor below me, he called up the shaft. "I took your tripod." For background, my tripod was a stand that would plug into the charger hole on my iPhone. I used this tripod to prop my phone up when I recorded videos and time lapses. He had seen my tripod the day before when I let him use it to make a YouTube video of him playing with my keyboard. He was fascinated by it. Anyway, I went back into the apartment and looked for my tripod. I came to the conclusion that he had in fact taken it. That's when I got a FaceTime call from him. He was outside my building, on the street, and he smiled and held up the tripod. I was annoyed but remained calm and handed the FaceTime to my mum, who told him in a very firm way to bring it back immediately. A minute later, we realised that we should have told him to leave it with the front desk of the building, as we didn't want him coming anywhere near us again. Unfortunately, when I called him, he was already in the elevator, so I advised him just to leave it outside the elevator door. I was not concerned about this, since we only have 2 sets of neighbours who dominate all the other apartments in our floor, and are almost never in the country. I stayed on the FaceTime call with him until we got to my floor, and I watched him put the tripod down on the floor in front of the elevator. I never saw him get back in, since he covered the camera with his finger. For the next few minutes, we heard the kid walking outside the front door. He must have been there for quite a while, because after 15 minutes when I FaceTimed again, he was just walking out of the lobby. Please note that there were quite a few buzzes before he answered, so he had probably been sitting in the lobby when he got tired of being outside our house. We quickly called the front desk and said the kid was not welcome back in. I don't know if the kid was just bored or what. I had learned the day before that he was obsessed with Pennywise the clown. I don't know very much about Pennywise, so I don't know if the kid was just pretending to be him. I wonder why he felt the need to try and steal a $5 tripod that I most likely would have given to him if he had asked. I don't know why he was in my mother's closet. It also confuses me why he handled and inspected one of our kitchen knives. To this day, I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't notified my mum that he had one of our knives in his possession, or if I hadn't told him to leave the tripod outside the elevator instead of coming to our front door. I may be seriously overreacting, but this was pretty disturbing to me. I'm still playing on that hockey team, and I'm still going to see the kid again tomorrow. It may have all been a laugh, but it clearly went too far. Did I mention that he continuously begged to stay for sleepovers, even though I barely knew him? After this incident, that's definitely a no-no, and I don't think I'll ever invite him to my house again.
Hello everyone, this is the part of the video where there's no more stories. So if you're only here for the stories, then there's plenty of others on my channel, and there's also lots of other good channels out there, so this is where I just waffle on and ramble about whatever. So if that's what you're into, then that's what we're doing right now. If not, I'll see you in the next video hopefully. And oh shit, I've spilt something all over my bed. I've just realised that. Okay. Dr. Pepper. But yeah, what was I going to talk about today? Basically, if you can't hear it in my voice, I've had a fucking rotten cold all week. I felt like crap. The thing is, right, when I get a cold, I don't just get like a sniffle. Like some people are like, oh yeah, I still go to work when I've got a cold, but I don't get like a little sniffle and a little bit like bunged up or whatever. I get like an absolute stinking rotten cold. I get like, it wipes me out. I feel like shit, and it annoys me because people are like, oh no, you're just exaggerating. Like I go in work and stuff when I've got a cold. No, if you felt like how I feel, you wouldn't be going to work. Like on Monday and Tuesday this week, it's Friday now, and I feel a little bit better now. That's why I'm recording this. But literally on Monday and Tuesday, I felt like shite. Like I literally was laying in my bed all day, pretty much, like just on my laptop. I couldn't be bothered to do. I felt like shit. I was literally like, I got a parcel come that I'd ordered, and I'd been waiting like 2 weeks for. I felt so crap, I couldn't even bother to get up and open it. I could not be bothered. And I thought, nah. Oh, I hate having a cold. It's the first time I've been properly, like, stinking rotten cold in ages. But it's horrible, isn't it? I normally catch it. If anything's going, I'll catch it though. Like, normally. Like, due to, like, with COVID being around, I've actually had less colds because obviously we've been wearing masks and not going out much and social distancing. But now that's sort of finished, like coming to an end, all this social distancing stuff, I just know I'm going to keep getting colds, and it's really annoying. The thing is, like, I think even like the other week I was on a train, and not even the underground, right? It's like a normal overground train, and like I had an itchy nose and I couldn't even lift my arms up to scratch my nose, and they're going on about like taking precautions for coronavirus still, but run more carriages on trains then, because that was like a fucking breeding ground in there. It was awful. It was literally like I couldn't even like get into my pocket. I was so like, it was like a little sardine sitting in that carriage, squished against the wall. It was horrible. I hate trains. I hate getting trains. I'd rather like, I say I'd rather get a bus, but they can be just as bad. But especially like the trains going into London, they're horrible. They are absolutely rammed, and they're hot as well. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I'm moaning about it, but yeah. What have you guys been up to anyway? Let me know what you've been doing recently. If you had a good week. Well, it's Friday today as I'm recording this. I'm hoping I can get this video out tonight. That's the plan anyway. Like, I want to record this, put it at the end. Like, the stories, I think I've recorded every story that I wanted to put into this video. I think. But I have to make sure. But if that's the case, then yeah, I should be able to get this video out later on today. If this comes out today, just say in the comments, just say well done. You've done alright there, because normally I'm like, oh, I'm getting this video out tomorrow, and then it's like 3 weeks time it comes out. But yeah. But yeah, people also don't seem to be getting notifications for my videos, which people have been telling me for years now, but it just seems to get worse and worse. One sec, I'm just reaching for something. Got my tea and I entertain yourselves. I made a good tea there, I'll tell you that. I also couldn't taste anything earlier in the week, so it's the first time I'm actually tasting things today, which is like nice, to be honest with you. I'm actually like, I think I sound worse. I don't know if I sound worse today or what, but I feel like I sound worse in how I feel at the moment. Like, I don't feel that bad now. I just feel a bit bunged up. Bit of like a, not even like a cough. It's like a, it's a bit grim in it, but like a bit of a phlegmy cough. And you just need to keep clearing your throat. But that's how I'm feeling anyway. Normally I hold my microphone, but I'm trying to balance it while I got my tea. So sorry if the fucking hell, do you hear the fucking postman? They do this all the time. If you fucking kick the door down, I hope someone opens that. Yeah, they have. Right, I honestly, I don't know if you guys postmen do this. I think it's Amazon that do it. I don't know who it is, but they fucking bang the door down. It's like fucking breach and clear. Fucking chuck a C4 through your window while they're at it. Like, genuinely. Like, they must be destroying people's, like, doors, because they absolutely slam on them. It startles me. But yeah, what was I talking about before that? I don't remember. I quite like this bit where I just talk to you. I actually prefer this to the stories. I think I've told you this before. Like, doing the stories is alright, but I like just talking to you. Like, I don't know, it just makes me feel happy doing this. I had something to talk about as well. That's really annoying, because normally, like, I don't, do I? But today I actually had something I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember now. Oh, it was nice to the support I had on the last video as well with the charity of the month thing. It seems like you guys actually think that's a good idea. So I did Cancer Research UK last time, and the next time, actually, some of you have put some recommendations in the comments, so I'll go through the comments of that video again and try and see, like, what's been going on, like, with what you guys would recommend, like, and I'll just keep looking at them, because next month I don't know what charity to do, so I'm going to keep looking. Like, maybe something for homeless people, maybe something for, I don't know, we'll find something, won't we? Oh, do you know what? I've had one, like, I don't know if you guys get this, but you get months where, like, nothing seems to go right. That's the sort of month I've had recently. Like, every time well, it's not like the full month, but, like, you get them times, don't you, where just nothing seems to work out. Everything I try and do goes wrong. It just winds me up. Like, I could try and do even the last video I uploaded, right? This sums it up for me. Like, I think, like, it could be something as simple as, like, trying to upload a video, right? I save it onto my laptop, but for me to put it in, like, a MP3 form to upload it as well, I sorry, bloody hell. But yeah, for me to put into an MP3 form, I have to delete the, like, video version of it. So I did that, and they take ages to save. The video was uploading, and then it just stopped. As soon as I deleted the thing, it just stopped uploading. I had to resave it all over again. It took fucking ages. I was up to like 2 in the morning. Just what? Things that annoy me the most, right, are things that should be easy, but they're just not. So it should be so simple. Like, I don't know if you guys feel like this as well. Like, someone could ask me to do something quite complicated, alright? And I could do it. But if someone says to me, "Oh, open that window for us," I'd balls it up, I'd cock it up somehow, I'd break it. I don't know if that's just something that I do, but simple tasks I'm just shit at. But things that are more difficult, I'm better at, which doesn't really make sense. But yeah. Don't know if you can hear, I feel a bit shit right now. I think... Alright, everybody, I'm back. the nose has been blown, and yeah, I feel better. So, what was I talking about? Oh, actually, I was going to ask you guys, if you guys could literally, like, if you had one day to do anything you wanted, you could be anywhere, any situation, what would that situation be? That's what I've been thinking recently. Like, if you could just, like, snap your fingers, go anywhere, what would it be? Like, would you go on a holiday somewhere? Would you go, I was gonna say to work, you wouldn't go work, would you? Would you go, I don't know, to the beach? Would you go, I don't know, tell me, because I don't actually know what I would do. I'm not too sure. Like, what would you be doing? Would you be, like, in a club? Don't know. Tell me, because I find it interesting what different people's best possible scenario is. Like, I feel like, for me, I'm someone who's quite easily pleased. I don't need that much to be happy. I don't need expensive things. Like, I don't need to be going on holidays that cost a fortune. I don't need food that's expensive. I don't need expensive clothes. I think, for me, I'm most happy when I'm doing like a sport or something. Like, when I'm doing a sport, I feel good. I'm working towards something. I think that's when I'm most happy. I think, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I am very easily pleased. I think anyway. But in some ways, like, obviously, I mean, for me, I'm not a very jealous person. I don't look at people that have got, like, even on YouTube, I don't look at other people's channels and think like, oh, I wish I had that many views, wish I had that many subscribers. I don't care. Like, I've said this to you guys before. Honestly, I do not care. Like, you could ask me to collaborate with, or someone could come up to me who's got like 10 million subscribers and say, oh, do you want to work on a video together? I don't think I would. I honestly don't think I would. I just don't care enough about, like, oh, what's that then? Can you guys hear that? That's a bit annoying. What is that? I think it's a bus. But I'll keep talking. Honestly, I don't care about subscribers or views. Like, I mean, views to some extent, because you want to get like a decent amount of people listening, so then you can have like more engagement in the comments and stuff, and it's more in the more, like, I've said this before, the ideal amount of views is like 4K, I think, like, 'cause then you get like a good amount of engagement, and the people that are watching are ones that actually want to watch it. Whereas after you get past like 20K, you just get people moaning. But I think for me, I'm happy with what I've got, honestly. I really am happy with you lot. I mean, it'd be nice if YouTube recommend my videos a little bit more, because I don't get any videos put in recommended whatsoever, and no one ever gets notified. But bloody hell, for the most part, I'm pretty happy. I am happy, to be honest with you. I think as well with us as well. I don't know if you guys feel it, but I feel like what we have, like I like all like chats at the end of the videos and stuff, and like our interactions in the comments, and you guys' interaction in the comments is better than like what other channels have. I feel like the videos might not be as good as other people's, the quality might not be as good, but we've definitely, out of all the horror channels, we've definitely got the best little community. Even though it's small, we've definitely got the best little community here, I think. Like, the way that people actually are talking with each other, everyone's nice to each other, like, you actually keep up to date with what each other are doing, and it's nice, you know, because I just feel like there's so much engagement with, like, this channel now, with, like, and then, when I used to get, like, years ago, I used to get, like, 100,000 views a video, like, it was ridiculous, but the comments weren't great, if I'm honest. Like, I didn't feel like I had any engagement with anyone. Like, honestly, I would take this over that any day of the week. I much prefer this, how we've got it now, with you guys, like a smaller audience, but you're all here. Do you know what I mean? I know your names. When you comment, I know who you are. Like, I know what's going on in your life. When you tell me about it, I remember things about you, and I just like it. I feel like I need a drink in a second because my throat is dead. But yeah. Right. If I cough again, I'm getting a drink. But oh, do you know what one thing is that I thought I like finding things that I find relaxing, right? So I thought, do you know what, I'm gonna go out my way and try and find something that I enjoy, that's nice and relaxing for like at night. I thought, people like ASMR. I have never in my life found something more irritating than ASMR. Never. I remember listening to it before and I was like, it's not really my thing, and just click straight off. And then I watched one the other day, and it was mouth noises, and oh my god, mouth noises are irritating at the best of times. Let alone when someone's got their mouth dribbling all over the microphone, going, oh, it's awful, it's awful. I don't know how people can do that. It's awful. How can you sit there listening to that and think, oh, that's bloody relaxing, that someone's bloody gauze in their mouth. Oh, it's awful. I can't even describe how it's something. It makes me physically repulsed. It's so irritating. Like, I get irritated by little things anyway, right? And Joe is annoying. Thinking about it, sometimes on my videos, people moan when they're like, oh, I could hear you like a mouth noise. But this is like for like 2 seconds of the video. When people with doing ASMR will be literally like dribbling on the microphone for about 15 minutes straight, and everyone goes, oh, that's bloody relaxing, that. But when my lips start bloody smacking together, everyone's like, nah, that's horrible, that. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? But yeah. What is that bird doing? Do you know what is? I've got this bird that always comes. Do you know what? I've seen some like videos. It was on like a TikTok of this. I saw it. I don't know what I saw it on. It might be someone shared it on Twitter or something. But it was this person who had a seagull like kept coming to his window, and he kept feeding it, and he just like made it his pet. That's what I should do with this bird. I think that would be a better series than these stories, wouldn't it? Me trying to tame a bird, domesticate a. I don't know what it is. I think it's a pigeon. That would be good. I think I'd love that. Do you know what? I would love it. I'd love to be one of them people that has an animal like a stray animal that came to it, like that I fed once, keeps coming back, and then I make it my own, like feed it, like domesticate it, and make it like a little house animal, like a little pet. I'd love that. Treat it and everything, give it digestive biscuits and crackers and everything. The thing is, my sister's boyfriend has a dog, and she's lovely. She's a Labrador, but she's so well trained, and I love it when she comes over because I miss my dog, because my dog passed away like in January, so I've missed having a dog. Cause I've had pretty much my whole life. I've had dogs, so when my sister's boyfriend's dog comes over, I treat it as well. Proper treat it, like sneak it little pieces of cheese and everything. I give it like digestive biscuits, crackers. The dog loves me. Like I play with her and everything, like in the garden. She has like a ball, and like if you throw it for her, she won't go for it unless you tell her to go for it. And then when she does, you bring it back. If you say, like, I can't remember what you say to her, but you say a word to her and then she just drops it. She's so well behaved. But like she's one of them dogs that if you tell her to go to her bed, she'll just go and sit in her basket and just stare at you. It's cute. I love dogs. I really love dogs. If any of you's got dogs, like tell me what dogs you got. If you want, send me them on Twitter. Like just upload a picture and to send it to me on Twitter, and just just tag me in it. I'd love that. I love to see your dogs if you've got dogs. I love them. I absolutely love dogs. So that I'd love that. So if you wanted to on Twitter, follow me, or don't even follow me, just tag me in a picture. I'd love it. But yeah, I think if I got a dog in the future, which I think I will, I'd get a spaniel. I love spaniels. I like border collies as well. I like German shepherds. I like Labradors. I like golden retrievers. I just love all different kinds of dogs, if I'm honest with you. I really do. I think they're like definitely my favourite animal. Yeah. What else can I tell you guys about? I don't really know. I'm more interested in what you guys have been doing, to be honest. Where I've been unwell, I've not really been out doing anything, so like I'd be more interested to know what you guys have been up to. I've just been watching like TV series and stuff, and this is why I can't sleep at night. They do this all night as well. These motorbikes, there's quad bikes as well that go past, and there's like an industrial estate near me, and they always do this, like they out at night because security's not there. It's like the fucking Grand Prix around the back of my fucking house. It's so annoying. It just keeps me up at night because it's so noisy. But yeah. I don't know if I have much else to say. I don't even know how long this has been going on for. I don't understand. I've told you this before as well. My thing I record on doesn't say the amount of time I've been recording for. It just doesn't. I wish it would just say, because it says like 612. Like, is that seconds? Is that? Do you know what? I'm gonna look up quickly on my phone. How long? This is pretty boring for you guys, so entertain yourselves again. How long is 620 seconds? I'm really interested to find a whole fucking unit converter. Why have I got to go on a unit converter? Just tell me. 10 minutes and 20 seconds. I am certain this has been longer than that. This has got to have been longer than 10 minutes. I feel like I've been talking for ages. I don't know, to be honest. But yeah. Do you know what? I really need to get back into exercise as well, because where I've been ill, because I've got proper going on about that, I haven't been able to go for like runs or do any sort of sport, so I need to get back into that, because that really makes my head feel better. Like, if anyone here has like anxiety or feels depressed or is just generally down, I promise you exercise is such a good way to improve that. Like, I know for myself it helps me so much. Like, honestly, it's like your mood. Say if you're in a mood or whatever, if you're feeling anxious and you feel like about like a 3 or 4 out of 10, if you exercise afterwards, you're feeling like a 6 or 7 out of 10 just from doing that exercise. Like, and it makes you just feel so much better, especially when you do it consistently as well. You feel so good for doing it. You feel like you want to go and do it. Like, when you think about it, exercise is such a powerful thing, isn't it? Like, how it can make you feel and change how your body even looks and like functions. It's better than any sort of medication when you think about it, isn't it? Because it's so effective. If you can exercise regularly, it's better than any kind of medication you can go on. Like, it will massively change it can change your life literally just from exercise, which is crazy when you actually think about the effects of just going and doing something physical with your body rather than, sitting down all day. I suppose we were meant to, aren't we? We're supposed to be moving around. We're not meant to be, sitting indoors all day, which is strange because, like, even now, like, I'm sitting at a laptop talking to people that I've never met, recording in a room on my own, no one with me, talking to myself, literally just talking to myself. It's not very natural. It's not at all, is it? It's very weird when you think about it. Like, I am literally talking to people, though, from all around the world right now. Like, a lot of you from America, some of you from England, some of you are from Australia, some of you from random countries I've never even heard of. And it's strange, isn't it? When you think, like, we're all here listening to this. Well, I'm not, because I'm talking, but, like, we're all, I don't know what I'm you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm trying to say. It's not very natural, is it, when you think about it? But it's quite good in a way, because I can connect to so many of you, and we can sort of improve each other's lives in some ways, because you guys improve my life, and you guys know that. I've said that before. I'd like to think this give some value to some of you. That's also why I'm doing the charity stuff a lot, because I want to know that I'm definitely giving value somewhere. I know if I'm doing charity stuff, that's definitely helping someone somewhere. So that's why I'm going to keep doing that every month. But do you know what? Yeah, just before we go, in the comments, just tell me what charity you really would like me to donate to. Like, if it's a hospice, if it's, I don't know, water in Africa, it could be cancer, it could be brain injury, it could be leukemia, it could be homelessness, anything. Tell me what you want me to donate to, and I'll have a look into that charity. And if I can find like a legit website that's reputable, I will link it as well and donate to it. So let me know, and I'll do that. So yeah, on that note, thanks a lot for listening. If you got to this point of the video, say, that spoopy pasta boy, stop waffling so much, I'm bored. Right, I'll probably forget I've told you to say that, and then I'll I'll read these comments and think everyone hates me. But yeah, say that. Alright, bye.